Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah with Lady Axe Gaming. If you're new here, I would like to welcome you, and if you're a returning viewer, I would like to welcome you back. In this episode, as promised, we are going to be spending a lot of time in the shopping district because I have been commissioned to build a shop, a flower shop for my friend JJ, and I am going to show you here in just a little bit from my creative world what that shop is going to look like. I still need to gather some of the materials for that shop because I don't have everything just yet. So we might spend a little bit of time. I might spend a little bit of time getting those materials gathered up, and then we will get to building the flower shop. But before we do that, I know that I mentioned at some point wanting to get a happy gas so that I could finish the canopies for both of these jungle trees. I looked on our shop directory on Discord, and it looks like there is a shop that is selling the dried gas. So let's go ahead and teleport to spawn, and then we will make our way over to the shopping district. I think this is the shop right here. Oh, there they are. Okay, should we get one or two? Maybe we should get two. You know what? Let's go ahead and get one for now. Oh, yeah, we got our first dried gas. Okay, and then we need harness. Maybe this is it right here. Let's check. Item preview. Oh, it is. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and buy that. So let's go ahead and dig a little spot. I think I'll just go ahead and put him back here. And it doesn't need to be very deep. He just has to be able to be under the water. And my mouse is being weird again. And I think we get an advancement for this too. So let's go ahead and put the dried gas right there. And we're going to put water on him. Yay! All right, so now we just have to wait out the 20 minutes for him to grow into an actual happy gas. And I need to find some snowballs here soon. So I'm going to see if there's any snowballs. Maybe someone has some, or maybe I can find a snowy biome to get some from, because I'm going to need those as soon as he comes out of that water. All right. So actually the blue warp is a cold biome. So we can go there and we can get some snow. All right. So let's go ahead with getting some snow. I don't know how much I'm going to need, so it might be good to grab kind of quite a few of these snowballs. All right, so we've got about 6 stacks. I think that should be enough. Oh, you know what? I want to find some powdered snow because I want to get the light as rabbit advancement. Hopefully there's some up here. And it's so shiny off of the snow here. It's hard to see where anything is at. I am not seeing. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's step on this snow. Yay! And oh, I thought you got an advancement for that. Maybe not. All right. So we got the light as a rabbit. What is it? Light as a rabbit advancement. So now we can make our way back home. Awesome. And we got ourselves 6 stacks of snowballs. So we should be ready for when the happy gas grows up and is ready to eat some snowballs. Let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and just put these snowballs here for now for when the time is ready, or for when it's time to feed the happy gas. But I'm gonna switch over because, like I said, I want to show you guys the design for the shop now. I will put a note out there that the design in my creatives on my creative world is not complete. I'm still kind of working out some of the details, but I kind of just want to give you an overall view of what the shop is going to look like. And then I am going to take some time to rustle up some of the materials for it. And then once I have those materials all ready, I will probably do a little time lapse of building the flower shop for my friend JJ. So let's go ahead and switch over real quick. All right, so this is my creative world. It's probably going to look pretty messy, as most creative worlds do, because this is where I do a bunch of testing for different builds. So hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit of mess. This is the flower shop that I'm going to be building. I'm having a little bit of an issue. Here, let's fly. With the little veranda right here, because I don't know if you can tell, but from here, this reminds me of a sniffer nose, and I'm having a hard time not seeing a sniffer nose whenever I look at this flower shop. So I'm not sure if I want to change this so that maybe I don't constantly see a sniffer nose there, or if I should just leave it, because I really like the overall look of it. I'm just constantly, my brain is like, oh, that's a sniffer nose. And as you can see, there's still a lot of details that need to be added to the flower shop. Of course, the inside and how the chests are going to be laid out, where the flowers are going to go. And then also I need to work on the roof and also some details on the outside. But overall, this is what the flower shop is going to look like. Now we are going to go ahead and switch back over to CFC, and we are going to head back to the shopping district, to the area where this shop is going to be built at. So this is the spot where the flower shop is going to be sitting. And I have some of the flowers here, and then I also do have some of the materials for building the shop itself. I'm going to have to gather quite a bit more of this because I use quite a bit of pale oak. I might actually have enough here to do the pale oak planks, but I'm not sure that I have enough of the quartz to do like the banisters and stuff. And then I'm also going to need to get some wool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and collect all of that stuff off camera. And then when I have all of the materials ready, I will come back and we will do a time lapse of me getting this flower shop built once and for all. All right, so I am back, and I believe I've gotten pretty much all of the supplies that I need, that I'm going to be using for the exterior of the shop. Now, I did speak with my friend about the interior, so I might have to grab some of those materials as well, possibly afterwards. I probably won't do the interior in the time lapse. I'll probably just do that kind of afterwards and then kind of show you guys the end result. But for now, I am pretty much ready to get this flower shop built once and for all. So I'm going to go ahead and start the time lapse of me building this flower shop. And then once it is complete, I will come back and show you guys the end result. Without any further ado, I am going to go ahead and start the time lapse, and I will see you guys on the other side. All right, and the exterior of the flower shop is completed. Well, at least the main part of the exterior. There are still a bunch of decorations and landscaping types of things that I would like to do around the shop. I also want to get some banners that say flower shop or flowers or something like that to hang on the outside somewhere. But all in all, the shop itself is in, and I'm super excited about that. I really, really like how this turned out. I've never used quartz and pale oak together before, and I think it looks really, really awesome. And I also ended up adding another little bit of color to the shop using the brick walls, the mud brick walls. And I also added a little overhang using the white and green striped wool, which I really love. I think it adds a little bit of pop of color, so it's not just completely white. And I absolutely love the way it turned out. So what I'm going to do is I will probably work on the interior and stuff off camera, and then I will show you guys the end result once the interior and the exterior decorations are done and the layout for the chest is done and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that, and then I will be back to show you the end result. So I'll see you in just a few seconds. And it's actually been a few days since you last saw me. I know I said I'd see you in a few seconds, but I ended up getting kind of busy IRL, and so I wasn't able to really get on and record. But I am now back, and I wanted to show you guys the end result of the flower shop that we were building a few seconds ago. This is the end result of the flower shop that I was building, and I absolutely really love how this turned out. I did end up getting a chance to decorate the outside. I used some flowers and some leaves. I was actually able to use some of the firefly bushes for decoration on outside too, and we've got some hanging pots. I also have to give shout out to some of my friends on here. I had some help getting ideas for the overhang on the flower shop. Originally, it was just green and white, I believe, but some of my friends, like I said, came by and kind of gave me some tips on what they thought would look better. And so we ended up with this design, and I actually really love it. It gives it it really kind of leans into that flower shop vibe. And then I did some signs up here to, you know, spell out flower shop. And then if we come in here, if you see there's a sign here, it says flower museum located upstairs. JJ wasn't really going to do anything with the upstairs. He might do actually a roof and an attic also for like storage. And he might even do some building underground, but that will definitely come later as the season progresses. But as for now, this is what we have going for this flower shop. So if we come in here, I tried to do kind of like those cute flower cases that you see in shops sometimes where they have them in kind of like a cold storage kind of thing. And I actually really love how these turned out. I think it gives off the vibe that I was actually hoping for. And then if you come in here, we've got the shops already set up, the chest shops. I really like how JJ did this. I had it looking a little bit different, but it was actually kind of cramped, and so I like this more open floor concept. When we've got all the flowers that he's selling plus some other items. And then if we go up here, this is where the flower museum is located. I don't have every flower. I have almost all of them, but there's a couple of flowers that he's not selling, so I didn't put those ones in. But I have them here, and I have signs above them to tell which flowers they are. And eventually I want to get to where I can put where these flowers are typically found in game on the other signs, but I just haven't gotten around to that because, like I said, I got busy. And then if we come out here to the terrace, you can kind of see that I did a little bit of a design out here. I was kind of hoping to do some like benches and stuff too, and I might still do that. But this is pretty much it for the flower shop. Like I said, I really enjoyed how this build turned out. I am super happy with it, and I think JJ really likes it. Like I said, he will be adding some more stuff to it later on. So you might see it change over the course of the season, but I think as a whole, this is what the shop will end up looking like. So now we are going to switch to the next part of this episode. I wasn't planning on this episode being super build heavy, but I honestly think it actually might end up being that way because I also have a shop that I need to put up. And I thought I would take the time to record myself building that shop because I have, in the last season, which was my first season on CFC, I decided to start doing custom trees for people on the server. And that was actually a really great job for me. I had a lot of people who needed trees and also ponds. And it was a great way for me to make some diamonds and also get to know people from the community. And I decided to go ahead and continue that service here on this season. And so I think I showed you guys earlier. I'm going to sleep real quick. But I showed you guys, I think, earlier that I actually have a spot picked out for my shop. We're just going to go ahead and TP over there to make it a little bit faster. But this is the spot that I have picked out for my tree business shop. I have an idea of how I want this tree build to look. So I am going to go ahead and probably do another time lapse of me building my tree shop. And then once we are done, I will come back and I will show you the end result. So I am going to go ahead and get to building this tree shop. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a shop per se. Maybe like a building and then a tree next to it or something like that. I have an idea. It's kind of in there, but it's not set in stone. So I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out. So it's going to be a surprise for you and I both, for all of us. So hopefully you guys like the end result, and I'm sure I will love it, and I am super happy to finally get this shop up and going. So without any further ado, we're going to switch over to another little timey-wimey time lapse in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, and we're back. Obviously, there was no time lapse. I do apologize for that, but there were some technical issues with my Wi-Fi that was making it hard to do to record on Flashback Mod. My Wi-Fi kept getting dropped, and so it would cut the video short, and then I just wasn't able to get on very long to finish the time lapse. Apart from the technical difficulties, I also did not plan my shop in advance, so I was kind of just building as I went, and the build kept changing. Like the wall around the shop changed quite a bit, a couple of times, and then inside the shop, the ground, I was going to put in a fountain, and then I didn't like how the fountain was looking. I thought it kind of overshadowed the rest of the build, so I took that out and all that jazz. So that's pretty much the main 2 reasons why there wasn't a time lapse. And like I said, I apologize for that. So I ended up scrapping the whole thing altogether and decided just to go ahead and get the build done. So we're going to head on over to the shopping district now so that I can show you the end result of the ladies custom tree shop build. So I'm going to head on over there and I will meet you guys in the shopping district at my shop when I get there. So see you in just a few seconds. And we are now in the shopping district, and now I'm going to turn around and show you my shop. And here it is. Here is Ladies Custom Trees. We're going to go ahead and go inside and kind of look around. Let's check out the outside real quick because I really want to show you that. What I wanted to do is I wanted to showcase the kind of trees that I'm able to build. So over here we have kind of an oak tree with some leaves and branches. We have some landscaping around the base of the tree. And then I have a similar tree on the other side over here, and I did some mushrooms and some stones and stuff. And if we come to the front, and I put stairs in leading up to the actual shop, and then this is what I ended up doing with the interior of the shop. I got this idea off a Pinterest picture I saw where someone did stepping stones through some water, and I really liked that aspect. And it kind of gives you a fun little parkour course to hop over as you make your way to the actual shop or the kiosk in my shop. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And then as you can see, I added a few hanging benches, some swings. And then if you come over here, this tree is kind of the main focus of the shop. As you can see, I kind of got this idea from like the bonsai type trees where they're kind of twisted a bit. And then I did kind of like a willow type leaf design or willow type leaf style on it. And I really loved how this turned out. I had actually done a similar kind of tree for a friend of mine last season. I just really loved it. So I wanted to bring that back this season. And then I added this little bird bath fountain, and we got Bubba here, my little parrot. And then right here is where the players can order their trees. I really loved how this turned out. This wall here was one of the main frustrations that I had in the beginning, because originally I had it as only like a single level, but I again got some inspiration from some pictures I saw on Pinterest, and decided to go with this style, and I absolutely love it. I really try to push my creative limits every time I build something new, and I'm really glad I did because I really love how this turned out. And a lot of people love it, and it just has such a peaceful, nice vibe. So that is pretty much it for the custom tree shop. Pretty much, oh, don't mind. That's my kiddo in the background building her very first shop. I am so proud of her. I told her I wanted to teach her how to build a shop, and she got right to it. And so she's sitting there. She's over there just designing away, and I'm super excited for people to come to her shop. There's already a few players who have come to her shop, and I'm so excited. We are going to go ahead. I don't want this episode to be too long, but there is actually one more thing that I want to do in this episode. Another build that I kind of want to get started because I'm kind of itching to get it built, and that is I would like to build my mob farm. So we're going to actually teleport over there, and I will kind of give you guys a little bit more information about what I'm going to be doing over there. So let's go ahead and teleport, and I will meet you over there. She's doing so good. Look at that roof. I love it. All right. So this is the spot where my mob farm is going to be built. Obviously, we're going to have to get a lot higher because you have to get at least 200 blocks up for the first platform that we're then going to build the other platforms off of. But I mainly want to get the main structure in for the mob grinder, and I thought that would be a great way to end. Whoa, what is going on with my what's going on with my name tag? It's like, I don't know, that is really weird. It's like the shaders aren't being picked up behind my name tag. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways, sorry for that distraction. But so the last part of this video, I thought it would be great to kind of get the main structure in for my mob farm, and then once I have that in, then we'll come back and we will end this episode. So hopefully we will actually be able to get a time lapse in of me building this mob farm, because I really, really want to get a recording of this mob farm as I'm building it. So let's hope and pray that I can get the flashback mod to work and not have any Wi-Fi issues whatsoever. And then once I'm done building the main part of the mob farm, we will come back and we will end this episode. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start our final time lapse for this episode. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get time lapsing. All right, everybody, and we're back, and the mob farm has been completed, and I've been spending quite a lot of time up here just kind of grinding away at the XP. As you can see, I have a lot of experience points now, and that is because this mob farm works so well. I cannot tell you how painstakingly difficult this mob farm was to build. Not so much in the design. This is a very, popular design for mob farms. Many of you have probably used it for your own mob farms, but it was the materials that I used that were difficult to get to build the mob farm. I didn't know how much of the amethyst shards I was going to need for the tinted glass. And as you can see, this whole thing is built almost primarily out of tinted glass, as well as the water vader coming up to the platform where the mob farm sits was built out of tinted glass. And I had not quite grasped just how much of the tinted glass I was gonna need. And so it took quite a bit, and I just have to shout out so many of the community members here on CFC, because there were so many of them that stepped up to contribute tinted glass to my cause here for building this mob farm. And honestly, it would have taken me so much longer if they hadn't stepped up and helped support my amethyst shard obsession. And so I just have to shout them out. Thank you so much to all of you who contributed in one way or another. And if we come up here, I'm going to show you, I wanted to show you the roof real quick, the ceiling. So this is 20 levels. And this is why it took so much amethyst, so many amethyst shards to craft all the tinted glass that you see here on this mob farm. The pale wood wasn't so much the issue. I could get that, no problem. It was the glass that was the most difficult thing to come by. But thankfully, a lot of people had shards and glass and stuff already, so it didn't take as much time to get it, which was very nice, but it was still a little bit of a struggle. But I was finally able to get it done, and I am so glad and so happy about how it turned out. But I was gonna say, originally I was actually going to just close off the roof with some pale oak slabs, but when I got done with the mob farm, I realized that I had some leftover stacks of the tinted glass, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool to make the whole top part out of glass too. And then if we come down the scaffolding down into kind of the underbelly of the platform, I will show you what else I have been working on. I have started working on kind of filling this out. I have a lot of ideas and things that I want to build here at this mob farm. As you can see, I have the enchanter. This is a full 30 level enchanter. The other thing I wanted to show you was the collection system. I did not build this collection system. I will put that disclaimer out there. This collection system was built by my friend JJ. He is really good at redstone, and I asked him if he would build the collection system for the farm, and it works really nice. So I just wanted to shout out my friend and give him a thank you for building this on my mob farm. For my mob farm, it's gonna be great to have this. With all that said, like I said, this is pretty much. Oh, I was gonna show you guys. So before we get off here, I wanted to hop on the Happy Ghast and kind of fly around. I wanted to come up here and kind of show you the whole of the farm. As you can see, the whole thing is pretty much tinted glass, like I said, and I really wanted to do that. Pretty much all the other mob farms I've built in the past have been completely closed in, so you can't really see them. And I was like, you know what? It would be so cool to build this in glass so you can actually see into the farm and watch the mobs fall down. I know that seems kind of weird. You know, maybe it is a little weird, but I thought it would be cool, and I had never done anything like this. So I really do like how it turned out, and I think the pale oak looks so good with it, the planks. It actually kind of reminds me, it looks like a skyscraper, but I really love it. I really like how it turned out. So that is pretty much it for the rest of this episode. I am going to go ahead and probably log off here. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day, week, month, year, whenever and wherever you're watching from. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.